Before we start, before other people join us, how do you find the exams question that you handle now? Somebody should volunteer to talk to me and let me understand how you're going about the assignment, the last assignment. Have they put that on your platforms?
Yes.
And how do you find them?
We are trying to solve it, but it's a bit it's bulky, you understand. It's yes, very bulky. Like
this is quite unfortunate. A tiny lecturer asserting a bulky question.
No, sir, please. Forgive me. No,
No. You have done it wrong. No, I just linking up the size of the person who said the question to the bulkiness of the question.
We are trying to, because we don't know if let me speak for myself. I don't know if I'm on track actually. Maybe when I submit to you, then you go through my work and then see, because we've been doing it. I've been trying to be adding up things, you understand. He said we should choose a company. A company like VRA is huge, you understand. So I see that even the 7 pages you are requesting for will be more.
Will be less or more?
More. I'll get like maybe 8 pages, yes, if I have to do a proper work, like
So the 7 pages seem to be less. It seems to be small.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. That is where I am coming from.
Okay, so
that is a question that involves a lot. Yeah.
Very good.
We have to exercise patience and do it well.
Very good. Very good. So after getting all your stuff, then you summarize it.
Okay.
And put the whole thing within the 7-page contest that meet the requirement of the question.
Okay.
So how about others? You're left with about 4 minutes, 3 minutes to start. And yes.
Doc, so please, my issue has to do with the instructions. You know, the question comes in 2 forms. So the first part says, using any industry of your choice, identify key factors influencing supply chain visibility as one. And then in your country, and how the organization leverage technology and value creation improvements to enhance visibility, reduce supply disruptions, and improve overall performance. Now, when you come to the second paragraph, it says you are required to visit an organization. I don't know whether it is it is a linkage to the first one, or this one also stands on its own, because it's also saying visit an organization of your choice. Identify the current state of the organization with 3 objectives. Establish a relation through supply chain visibility and supply chain performance through 2-page literature review. Analyze data and develop solutions for effective supply chain visibility. So I was a bit confused. I don't know.
Are you sure I said this question?
Yes, please. That was what was sent to the
platform.
Doc,
that's the question we are answering.
So you see me. Yes. So how can a tiny lecturer like me set this bulky question? I'm really wondering. I'm the same person that said that question. Because
we are tired.
Hey, doctor, that one there.
We are little children, so please have mercy on us.
In the size.
So you see, They are the same question.
Yeah.
It's about supply chain visibility. The second aspect gives you some guidelines, okay, not just writing from whatever that you have read, gathering literature, and then answering it. But you need to make it like a project, okay? And then that will make you visit an organization.
Okay, research. Okay.
So you ask a few questions, develop a questionnaire that will let you, I don't want to answer the develop a questionnaire, and then that will let you first come out with some objectives, develop questionnaire. And then when you go out, get to the company or the organization, you apply, you administer your questionnaire, get some responses about what? Supply chain visibility and how they are managing the whole thing technically, using those technical things that you know, that IoT, internet, and another IoT, AI, and other things, whether they are using it, and how, if they are not using it, how, in which way are they managing supply chain visibility in their organization? Yeah, another one wanted to talk. Somebody wanted to talk. Okay, so it looks bulky, but the approach is, the second part guides you how to get questionnaire, how to get some information, so that you don't write out of the blue, so you don't write out of the out of place. I mean, you need to link up. No, if you don't have much time to visit an industry of any choice which is not too close to you, for industry, there are so many of them that will be your choice. But looking at the time constraint, you can use the organization. Okay, and then
some of us organizations are not practicing effective supply chain.
So
in the public sector, yes.
That should reflect in your write-up. That should reflect in your write-up, because that's why I give you the guideline. So if you follow the guideline and you realize that it is rather the opposite or the other way around, that the organization is practicing supply chain visibility, or then you write and let us know. You understand? So it is based on your objectives and your questions that you set. Now, when you go to the field, the responses that you get after administering your questionnaire, that will let us know, indeed, you have done a small research for that's tiny Dr. Opoku Akyea. Okay, so that he sees your work and then says that, no, this man has to grow fat and tall, because all the responses are coming from our bulky in nature. So that is the maximum. So if you can get 3-4 pages, fine, it is your own way, but that may not contain so much. If you go close to 6, 7, if it goes beyond, try and then summarize it and make sure this is within the instruction. Sometimes you can even use diagrams and diagrams and then some models to explain your situation. Okay, and a good work will come with in the nature of a thesis, which Dr. Isi taught you. This is a field work. I don't want you to stay in your room and then answer the question. Go get information so that at least you can do your possible best to answer.
Yes, Doc.
Yes.
This Charles Akyea. I decided to attempt the questions yesterday, and I realized that if I look at it at a very broader perspective, it will look very voluminous. So I narrowed it down to some policies that my company have started complying to from the European Union. So I work with Ghana Cocoa Board. So I use the EUDR, the European Union Deforestation Regulations. That is with respect to cocoa traceability, which very soon, if you are not able to trace every farm that the bean comes from, they'll stop buying our cocoa produce from Ghana. So upon narrowing it down, I think I began to be able to understand that it won't be that voluminous, but I can really make an impact with that kind of policy because I want to make it much easier and simple for me to be able to do it. So I think sometimes if you are considering going to the company, you can look at the activities of the companies. If there are some policies that you can narrow down that has that kind of lineage with supply chain visibility, it will make you really understand it better and be able to do it easily. So that is a little thing I observed when I started the work yesterday. Thank you.
And how do you find the volumes as you go on?
The volumes with respect to with the write-up. So I work with Cocoa Board, and my division deals directly with the farmers and their farms. So it was a bit easier for me to be able to summarize that aspect because the traceability has to do with tagging of each farmer's farms, and you need technology to be in there because the app it comes with an app, and you must also use gadgets to also do it. So I was able to summarize it. I'm still on it, but I think I can be within the 6 to 7 pages range so far per what I've been able to gather.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So you see, it's very interesting. You're going to make it. It's very interesting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's try our hands. Once you're able to get an industry, an organization, and you write, that's where I can say yes. Practically, you have done well. Come out with some suggestions and some suggestions.
Yes.
Okay, and the recommendations. Please, some half-page recommendations so that at least if I'm a good man, I can even send to your company without mentioning you that somebody did a mini research. This is the recommendation you have made, which is very good for the organization.
Yes. Already, I'm even working on a similar proposal to them already because I'm a staff leader there. So, once I'm done with this one, I'll just expand it better and present it to them.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so we thank God for the life of people like you and everybody that has joined this train today. Just a moment. Hello. Okay, so now for the past weeks, we have gone through a journey. By God's grace, we are ending today. And we have learned a few management strategies that we're supposed to apply at some point in time. And if I could remember, I can list a few of them. And we have at least the supplier development strategy, the benefits and the challenges. We have also gone through insourcing and outsourcing, make or buy. We discussed the continuum or the perspective in the relationship that we have in supply management. And then for each perspective or relationship, the continuum, the effect, the characteristics, and what it takes to have that relationship with some organizations. And we have learned that we're supposed to manage all the relationships that we have, from adversarial down to co-destiny, partnership, and so forth. We should be able to identify that this is the best relationship that we should have with this particular supplier. So all the suppliers that we have, they are in a perspective for the continuum. And we also said that continuum is a continuum because it does not start where at the points that we don't know, and then it does not end. You don't know where it ends, and then the other one starts. So for each relationship, whether outsourcing, for a single sourcing, for partnership, where it starts and where it's ending. And so we said it's a continuum. And then we said, it is once we are able to manage all these relationships that we have supply chain, we see the effectiveness of the supply chain. We also talked about so many of them that we need to put in place. And my focus is we are not doing this just for the exams. I pray to God that no one fails in my paper. So it is not the exams that you are going to write that is so most important, but the applicability of what you have studied, the changes that we can make as a result of the knowledge you are acquiring. And that's why I always want to make it seem like a practical something, that the profession that you are learning. Once you get the profession, you apply. So how applicable are they? I also made a powerful statement that masters, after completing masters, you should be able to debate. You should be able to critique statements. Not only for supply chain, I say after finishing masters, you should be able to critique statements, especially if it falls under your purview, if it's part of your area. Well, you are not doing human resource, you are not doing finance, you are not doing procurement. So if somebody makes a statement, if somebody behaves in a way, you should be able to critique whether the person is doing the right thing or wrong. Now, it is very important. So we need to subject everything that we do, everything that comes our way, into criticism. This is what we are seeing. Is it the right thing to be done? If it is the right thing, even is it the right thing to be done at this particular moment? Okay, how much is that going to cost our company? How much are you going to lose if you adopt this strategy? You ask questions, a lot of questions, and it's basically supply chain management. It's a very interesting area, and some of us that will practice, you see that's part of your organization, part of your body, part of your institution. So we are going to continue our discussions from here, and to see how sometimes we take some of these decisions. Now, I hope I'm sharing my slides. Please, can you see that on your screen?
Yes, Doug.
Okay, so what do I have here?
You have make or buy decision
Make or buy
process.
decision process.
Very good, very good, very good. So you go here, and then today we are going to forgive my words, rush through a few topics and a few areas. And so cooperate with me. take your jotter and then be jotting something. Now, we learned last week or two about insourcing and then outsourcing. And then we said insourcing is what? It's what decision? This one, I wouldn't give too many questions as to derail me. But so when the question comes, just answer straight away for me if you know. Insourcing is what decision? What decision is insourcing?
So to make on your own.
Very good. Insourcing is to make it ourselves. Let's make it as an organization. Don't let us give it out. It is beneficial. It is very important because of the secrecy, because of the coreness of the item. Okay. And then we said outsourcing is what? Buy. Let's give it out for some other people to do. If you have been making it and we think you are expert in it, no. Let's give it out for someone to do. Because one, it is not part of our core reasons for establishing the organization. So if you establish an organization, there are so many peripheries which, if you don't take care, would shift your focus to a non-core or low-core area. And for instance, Ghana Communication Technology is having a department called it's a professional something development unit or department, and they are also offering they are offering knowledge. They are imparting knowledge, but this one on the professional courses. So they do SIPs there. They do teach CELT there. And then I think CA2 and other things they do there. Now, I have not taught there before, but for CELT, I have taught at Kimpa. Now, even though it is about education, it's about impacting knowledge for money. Is it a core? How core it is for Ghana Communication Technology? Initially, it was established to first train, educate people for money. In which way? Through degree and other things. Now, or after some time, the organization decided to go into professional training, professional courses. So I wish somebody who can take even that place as a research to study whether indeed that branch or that department of the school is thriving well, is successful. Because it seems not to be a core activity. Now, somebody will also say it is a core activity, but it's of low coreness. It's of low coreness, even though it is also imparting knowledge. And so, how are the department performing? Okay. Now, you're going to look at how outsourcing decision matrix is used. Okay, to take a decision on some of these management principles. Now, if you look at the diagram that we were discussing, I think it was a mix-up, okay? But all what we wanted to know is that companies, organizations, when it comes to outsourcing and insourcing and other management decisions like what you are learning, should take into consideration how core it is to our studies, to our organization. Every organization has a vision, mission, okay? And through the vision and the mission, they have developed what objectives, based on which some of them have been broken into yearly objectives. And so we have plans and we have development plans. And so if you look at some of the objectives, you realize that no, this objective is a little bit tilting towards or tilting away from the corners. Okay, so what do you do? So some of the areas, you realize that it is a non-core activity. Some has some level or some degree of coreness, but it is that low, moderate, or high. Okay, so here we need to look at our coreness of whatever departments that we have. And then if we are profit-making organizations, our sole aim is to make profit, then those that are not bringing much profit, those that are not core activity, we prune them out through some of these management decisions. Okay, and then once you are taking a decision on your company, trying to identify the coreness of some of the outputs, some of the departments, some of the production areas. Okay, if you're looking at the corners of it, you also need to look at the competence of the supplier. The supplier here can be a competitor, your competitor. It can be somebody who is also in the direct traditional supply chain systems. What is this? Okay, so now, if you are taking the decision, looking at corners ranking of our company as against suppliers' competence of some of these things that we do. Now, if you take their insourcing and outsourcing, we are asking whether we have to do it ourselves. Are you seeing some lines on the slide? Okay, let me
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, sir.
I don't know where that is coming from. Some IT person on the platform should teach me tell me what is going on.
It seems one
Your
of
pen is
our
on.
colleagues' pens are on, so that is what is making the writing.
Oh, I see. But how? Okay, echo. So it's not coming from my end here.
No.
No, it's coming from your end.
Was it Doug that drew the line?
No.
No.
No. So it's
None of our colleagues can do anything to Doc's presentation. It should come
No,
from
you
Doc.
My
can do
brother,
it.
it's not true.
You can do
Okay.
it. When you have your pen on, you can write in.
Yes.
Oh, is that it?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
please.
Let me.
My
So
dear.
The person is written again.
yeah, someone is also doing it. So after that, they have to clean it up.
Hey,
Yeah.
said
So
they are a
Nanaya,
creditor.
please clean it up.
Well, is it? Is it the Iran people? Do you have Iran people on the platform? Iranians.
The
Please, so
person
you
can
know.
just
I
say,
think the first person
We are
was
only
Dominic.
trying to see if it's from us.
The first person was Dominic. So please, Dominic, try and then clean it
Oh,
up.
you're able to identify.
Yes, you see the person's name.
yeah, and then I think Angela Teria also.
Oh, okay. You guys are good in IT. Okay. So you need to bring your IT questions in supply chain. Okay. So the next one is we're discussing the insourcing and then outsourcing. Now, if you look at insourcing, okay, I'm seeing some names through insourcing. Here you can see that our coreness is what? Very high. It is very core, one of the core things that we establish our company to do, and we are doing. Okay, so our coreness to that particular area is very high. However, the supplier competence is very low. So if even you say we want to outsource, the supplier is not competent. It's our core area, and we are competent, and our coreness is very high. And that's why we have to continue to do insourcing. You have to continue to make it ourselves. Because if you give it out to the supplier is not that competent enough to hold it. Then we come to outsourcing, the third quadrant. Now, if you look at outsourcing, you realize that it is an area that we say a periphery. It's an area that is not a core activity to us. For instance, if you Ghana communication technology, we have found out that we are not doing well in the professional area, professional courses, because IPS, UPS is known to be good in that area, and other universities, we are not good at that. So if after some examinations, we realized that the professional development department there is not doing well. We need to outsource. Why? Because it is not part of our core activity. Even though it is also imparting and selling knowledge, that's not our core activity. Okay, we later introduced, and it is not performing as we expected. So we can outsource that to an organization or a consultancy that will take care of that. Now here too, you realize that consultancy is a supplier, we call them supplier. He has the competence to do that. Some private organizations are writing CAs, they are writing CERTs, they're writing SIPs, and what have you. Some of us went to write from the private training centers. We can outsource such things to them. Then sometimes so we realize that so a portion of our management, our processes, our departments, okay, when it comes to corners, it is not part of our core activity. Neither do we have the supplier also being competent. Because it is not part of our core activity, we will not go ahead and then invest in it, but rather support any supplier, okay, who wants to, who does not have the competence, but he has the interest to do and then supply the items to us. So how do you do it? By developing such supplier, you ask the supplier to come, what do you need? Because we want you to go into that area so that you supply us those products or those services. And then you put your budget on the table, your processes and procedure that you want to go through. We discuss as company where we want to help or help. Sometimes we need to provide you with equipment by giving you some money. Sometimes you need to do financial advance payment. There are supply development issues. If you give an order to supplier and you pay in advance, the item will be ready in 3 months' time, but you pay in advance. If you do that, in the way you are developing the supplier by giving him the money to do the thing. Once they get profit, they expand, and then in the long run, you are going to benefit. You understand? And then the last one is the fourth quadrant. That is the partnership. Please understand this matrix. And look as if it's in your question, but I think it's about 5 or 10 marks. Am I not a darling? Hello,
You
tell
are
me.
You are.
I'm a
You are
darling. Yes. And I want to continue to be a darling. Now, so what happens is that partnership, you realize that our corners in the area is very high. We established to produce that. We established to go by those processes. We established to become a leader in that area. And so we have invested in that area heavily because of the fact that the corners of that is very high to us. Our company is thriving on it. Then you also realize that a supplier or some suppliers have the competence in doing that same thing. And that's where we need to come together to form partnership. So when we have our high corners in that area, and the supplier also have that high competence in doing it, we come together. We either call them or they call us. We sit down and see how best we can partner. Now, partnership can come in a different way. Sometimes we realize that they are smaller company, and so partnering with them becomes another issue. We can what? We can acquire them, and that's what we call acquisition. So some companies will acquire other companies because what the small company is doing is their area, and they have their competence. That supplier has that core competence. Okay, so what you do is that you acquire them through acquisition, sit down, and then see whatever that you do. Government in Ghana has, for the years, done that with some sects, if I say sects, SCCT, some religious bodies, like the Almedia. Almedia was having their universities. They were having their secondary schools. Methodist Church was having their schools and so forth. Presby. Okay, these people were having this, so government decided that no, these guys are doing well in their own area, but we want to have an oversight responsibility so that at least there should be that uniformity in the provision of education. So government go into it and then in a way acquire all those schools. So what they do is that they look at how much you have invested and then they sit down with you, compensate you, or pay some amount that will in a way make you happy, and then you take the package and then they'll take over. So we have takeovers, acquisitions, and then in the partnership, where we are rubbing shoulders as in sizes, as in capital, as in investment, we can also go ahead and then become partners. And sometimes some of these partnership deals, if it's not properly hatched, you find one company shouting or screaming at the end of the story. And I think last time I mentioned Sony and Ericsson in the communication and then sound systems. Now, if you get this matrix well, the outsourcing aspects that we are doing, these are the advantages. Okay, advantages. These are the advantages. Go read them. Advantages of outsourcing. Now, as a matter of fact, it has some challenges and some disadvantages. Okay, now high cost of services. High cost of services.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, please, I have a question.
Okay.
Sir, please, with respect to the partnership, is it always the case that you partner with somebody or a company that shares the same competencies with you? Or sometimes you can also partner with a company that share a competence that you don't have.
Yeah, the two are all right. We share partnership, we develop partnership agreements based on the interests of both parties. Now, if you're a smaller company and you have the competence in doing some other things, you're even lucky a bigger company is coming to partner with you. So sometimes some things that you don't have, you have a partnership arrangement, and things that you also have over the other person, you have because now you don't want to outsource. It's your core competence. You're the major company. It's your core competence. So if a competitor is doing well, maybe he's doing well, but with some one side of it, which you are not doing well. Okay, so you come together, form partnership, and then reap the benefits of all this partnership thing. Okay, so it's a very management decision. You need to, before you go into it, there are not to have Sony and Ericsson's issue. You do a lot of studies. And then make sure that once you go into it, you rather benefit than losing. But one of the things is that if you are taking such decisions, see things that you may lose. Okay, see the things that you may lose, and then you may lose in some way and then gain in some way. But if you look at the bigger picture, okay, there's a what you call a risk of lock-in. Risk of lock-in. That's when it gets stuck in the deal. And when it gets stuck in the deal, sometimes you find it difficult because it's very difficult switching back. And so the switching cost is when you take a decision and then the decision is virtually not the same as what you are doing now. It means you are going to switch either to join a partner or a partner joining you. And so there's that switching cost, and that switching cost has to be calculated well. Make sure those things are very, they are not going to bring you down totally. Okay, so those are the disadvantages of outsourcing, and these are management decisions. You may be young as you sit in the class, But some of these powerful things, if you mention them by doing good analysis, detailed research of your company, so when you hear they are taking a decision, you study, and then just as we are doing here, you could take each step, each approach, each option, each decision that you want to take, and see whether indeed it is worth it. Now, the next area that we are going is sustainability, supply chain sustainability. Now, supply chain people, we are not an island of our own. We are not working as an independent body in the world. So we need to tune in and see how best we can help this world things, initiatives, programs, and what have you that the whole global village is doing, and then see how best we can contribute. No, so supply chain, we are also into procurement. Procurement, as we have learned, is part of our activities. So how do we contribute into the sustainability thing that the whole world is talking about? Now, if you look at the whole world, we have biodegradable materials. We have the ecosystem. We have the vegetations. We have the forest. Okay, we have the minerals, but we have lives too. So instead of we using this biodegradable items, we mean items that have a long, they have a life that once you destroy the life, it is very difficult to getting it back. Why don't you then use, it's just synthetics, use other things to make sure we get it and then preserve this thing that nature, that once they leave us, we are in trouble. We find it difficult to get it back. If you can see this picture, my village in the Western in Bonsa was having this green environment. Okay, green like this. But now because of Galamsey, now it looks like the river on the right hand side, but this river is green, but just it's the natural color, but it is because of the sky, the color of the sky that seems to be like Galamsey River. It's also the natural river that you see here. What can we procurement, supply chain management, supply chain people, logistics? What can we do to make sure that we help in the sustainability, okay, of this ecosystem, of this world issues that we discussed? Now there have been several programs by the world, okay, countries. Now several programs, several attempts to make sure we work on this. Now, if you come out in the day, the sun is scorching directly from God, directly. And it's very scorching and very harsh on our bodies. And we are losing out. Initially, they were saying it is the gas that we emit into the atmosphere that causes it. But we are not manufacturing. What gas do we produce in the atmosphere? But you see, it is the same world that we find ourselves in. So once other people are emitting those gases that are affecting the ozone layer, it's the same thing that we also facing. Okay, so we're supposed to do how supply chain can be so resilient in such a way that we'll be able to help the supply chain in the sustainability stories. Now, let's look at how some definitions have been given. Sustainable procurement, or put supply chain there, means giving due consideration to the impact of the procurement. Giving due consideration to the impact of the procurement on the environment, that is one. On the community, that is two. And on the social conditions of those delivering and then receiving. So the workers or the company that is doing it, you are delivering, and then we, the recipients, are the whole world. Okay, so how are we giving due consideration to the impact of our activities, our actions and inactions. Okay, now what we are going to see here is that the big companies have tried to put in some money, invest in some money, because if you don't take time, a time will come, they will suffer more than us. For we are poor people, we are so vulnerable, and then we accept anything that comes on us. But they too, they have an issue. Okay, the issue that they have is that if all these things are gone, what are they going to produce again? What are they going to produce again? So it's about looking at whether you need to make the purchase at all, need to make an action, you need to take an action. If you need to do that, is it the need? What is the consequences for now? And what the consequences for the other world? Now, if you look at what World's Procurement Initiative has given, I said that we should consider all these factors that we can make better and then make better choices. Okay, and so we are going to see those factors. Now, sustainability, we are looking at it from this 3 point of view. And that's what we call triple bottom line. A lot of people do researches, studies on this 3 bottom line. How sustainable development is whatever action that we are taking. So what we are looking at for sustainability, we are looking at meeting current needs without compromising the ability, okay, of future generation to meet their own needs. This first one is what I wish I could dwell on and then leave the other two. Meeting current needs without compromising the ability of for future generations to meet their own needs. Now, any action that we take now to meet our need, we may meet it, but how does it affect the future, our children and our children's children? And that's what we Africans, that's not what we are looking at all. We are not looking at that at all. We are looking at what we can get today, irrespective of what happens tomorrow. This is the stupid thing that once you are gone, you are gone. You don't think about what happens to the next generation. Now, the second one, okay, of the triple bottom line is balancing the triple bottom line of economic, social, and then environment consideration. So here, once we are looking at what we get now and thinking about the future, then let's look at the future in this triple bottom line. Okay, so the triple bottom line is socially, economically, and then environmental wise. How are we taking good steps to protect these areas? Then the third one is what? Promoting sustainable consumption and production. So it's not only production. We eat what you grow and should grow what we eat. And for each for each part, what do we do? What is our stake? What is our role as supply chain people? Now, who can tell me what can be our role? Now, our role in meeting all these needs is simple. Coming out with rules and regulations, guiding principles, okay, that will help us to unleash all activities that the supply chain, the chain is doing, and make sure that whatever the chain is doing is taking care of the future, not only just for today. So we can do that by coming out with policies in sourcing and doing ethical sourcing. Ethical sourcing is considering all this that we are discussing into our tendering processes. If we are preparing tender, we put in some policies that will let the suppliers go by that. And once they go by that, that you don't even need to use the natural, more natural, but some of the synthetics which are which are equally given the same resource as the natural. So I preserve the natural. Okay, so whatever that we are doing, ecosystem, environment. Now, if you produce something, I was living in a village, and a man was producing sugarcane in large quantities, commercial quantities, and then the chief of the village called this man and then to meet their elders. What was the problem? The problem is his sugarcane chaff, okay, was littering the whole village. And so they were asking him to stop selling the sugarcane. What is it a good sustainable program? Somebody should advise me. The chief of the village invited this farmer, and then with his elders, they cautioned him that because of the fact that his sugarcane that he's selling in the village was littering the whole village, people to walk around and chew those sugarcane and then throw the shafts around. And so they were banning him not to sell sugarcane in that village. Is it a good policy?
No.
Why no? If you are spoiling the environment, he thinks the best way to reduce this environmental issue in that village is to ban. If you don't sell, people will not chew, and then the people will not litter the village with the sugarcane. Is it a good policy? You said no. Why?
Sir, please, can I come in?
Yes, come in.
Sir, please, it's not a good policy in the sense that economically it's going to affect the farmer, but they should rather look for procedures or ways that they can provide dustbins, advantage areas, and make a public notice that if there's any littering, they should rather go and dump it in the litter bins rather than banning him from selling, which is going to affect his economical life and some of the people. Thank you.
So we mentioned economical and then social. So that's why we are using sustainable. Sustainable. It's not sustainable because it is also affecting other triple bottom line. Okay, it is good, fine. For environmental wise, it is very good, but it's not sustainable because it's affecting. Anything that you do to affect the economy, anything that you do to affect the environment, anything that you do to affect the social aspect of the life of the people, we say it is not sustainable. It's not acceptable. Now, let's look at the first Sustainable Development Program, meeting the needs of the present. So here, you look at the internal and then the external customer requirements. Internal and then external customer requirement. Now, what are the requirements of the suppliers? Okay. Now, suppliers need to meet the environmental issues. The internal too, we also have a role to play to help meet the sustainability of the entire business. We, as an organization. So within the organization, what do we need to do? And then outside, what do we need to do? Now, we need to meet budget targets, and then performance criteria. Budget targets and performance criteria. So one thing that we do is that even in our budget, every year as an organization, you should be able to put sustainability package, okay? A package that will take care of the environment, the social, and then the economy. The economy. So if I have a setup or equipment, established a factory in in a village, how much would you put on the budget to look at to take care of these sustainable policies in the organization, in the area? Okay, and then what performance criteria are you going to use in meeting this budget? Okay, in meeting the needs of the present, you also need to look at the products the processes, and then the capabilities. Okay, processes, capability, and then the product capability. Now, what type of product are you producing now? And how is it meeting the present target? Okay, and how is it doing for future? So the processes and then the products. Now, what negative thing do you find with the products that affect the environment, affect the social life, affect health, and what have you? What type of product do we give out? You know, too much of sugarcane, okay, in the villages, they increase diabetes, but people don't know. You know that. So how come like people in the village will have diabetes and so on and so forth? Too much sugarcane. You give too much pressure on your pancreas, and then before you realize your pancreas is not effectively working. That's where you get your diabetes. So how do you moderate it? You educate the people who buy. Even as they are buying, you educate them to moderate for moderation in their intake of the sugarcane. Processes. What processes do you use in manufacturing your items? What carbon or what emissions that your machines, your equipment comes out with? Okay, sorry. Now, service specifications, supplier requirements, resource allocation. These are all things that you need to consider in your, if you're meeting what you need to do at present. Now, for instance, supplier requirements. Now, in the sustainable procurement, okay, supplier requirements focus on eco-friendly and social practices. Okay, so some of these supplier requirements include environmental certification. So we supply chain people, what we can do to make sure that suppliers that are dealing with us, they have those certifications. Ghana here, we don't have them so much. It is not even part of our requirement for even with the public procurement. But companies that produce, that come out with, that produce things, products in the system, they should have that certificate. Okay, environmental certificate. Now, so in other words, you have ISO 14001, ISO 1410001, ISO 14001. So if you're producing in other world, you need to have this certificate. And before you get this certificate, you make sure your establishment, the product that you produce, the processes that you go through meet all these environmental situations. And so they'll give you a certificate on that. Then they also have to look at labor standards. Okay, whether you are using child labor, whether you are paying fair wages. Some people, some countries, if you are using child labor, producing something for them, and they are able to identify that, they will just ban. They will stop doing business with you, because if their body in their countries get to know that that country in maybe US, UK, Canada, or these advanced countries are doing business maybe in Rwanda, Ghana, Togo, the poor country, and then these countries they are not abiding by some of these issues regarding labor standards, regarding fair wages. It means you are not being sustainable. Then you do sustainable sourcing. Sustainable sourcing is ethical sourcing. Okay, going by all what it takes, being fair, being transparent, and all those things. I think we have done that, but with the old cohort on the platform. Then waste reduction and recycling practices. Okay, it's also part of the supplier requirements. If you are a supplier and you want to appraise and then select the supplier, you need to look at your effort in waste reduction and then recycling practices. Now, once you buy our ice cream, we don't care where you put them. That should be nonsense. That should be stopped. Okay, some of these companies like Fan Fan Ice Company Limited should donate, how do you call it, dustbins, and just write their company, put their company logos on it, so that the people walk from maybe some few distances and you are taking ice cream, at least you can dump it in the next dustbin. If you know they are not going to get the next dustbin, you keep it and until you get there. By so doing, you are helping reducing waste in the system. Transparency in supply chain practices. These are all supply requirements. Then resource allocation, making sure that your time, your equipment, your investment, your labor, your people have been assigned or be tasked to do what it takes to produce or provide some of these services that we are talking about. Now, the second one that we talk, ensuring that the needs of future generations can be met. Implementing sustainable procurement strategy and policy, use of sustainable purchase specifications. So sustainable purchase specifications, there are specifications, we have defined specification as what? Description. The term specs or specification means description of the item. And so we buyers, okay, or supply chain people, make sure that the description that we give for items that they should supply, okay, we'll consider those biodegradable items that will not come and choke our pipe, your drain. Now, if you go to seas, they catch plastic more than fish. And where you have more plastic, there's no fish in the area. So fishermen are also suffering. Sustainable contract management, sustainable supply chain management and development. These are all things that we need to look at. Now, if you say sustainable contract management that take into consideration things that will make the world live for long. Societal, even if you are constructing, you need to consider people in the neighborhood that you're constructing. How is your road construction affecting them? The dust, you don't leave it because you are not ready for applying the bitumen. But you also have to water the roads so that it doesn't affect the health of the people in the area. Now, what are some of the key areas when you consider as sustainable procurement? If you really want to consider sustainable procurement, what are some of the key areas? That's where I have given a count of the areas. Okay, so we need to consider the environmental, social, and economic consequences. We need to consider the consequences. So here, we need to do that through our design, the use of non-renewable materials, manufacture and production methods, logistics, even our movement of the items within the supply chain, service delivery. You need to look at that. How is that impacting economically, impacting environmentally, or the other one? Okay, the usage of the products, the operations, okay, of even our operations, okay, giving out the product or the services, the maintenance, and then reuse, recycling options, then finally disposal. Okay, we need to look at all these areas, how we're able to manage these key areas in such a way that our final output will not be affected. So the design, the use of non-renewable material, manufacture and production methods, manufacture and production methods, and then logistics, service delivery, usage, operations, maintenance, reuse, recycling options, and then disposal. So you can see with all this, we have a role to play, and that's why, because they all fall under supply chain. They all fall under supply chain. You have done design, you have done manufacturing or production, and then whatever that we can do to save our systems, and that will be appreciable. Any questions at this stage? Now, sometimes instead of sustainable procurement, we use the term green supply chain. I wish some of you, the new ones, you do research in this area. You do research in sustainable procurement, and then use case study of some of these organizations, like for us to know how they are contributing in reducing these sustainable issues that we are discussing, like the fine milk people, and other organizations that are polluting the environment, and then their contributions, their budgets, and their annual budget. You can find out this is a secondary data. Get their annual budget for those the amount that is spent in meeting this sustainable requirement, whether they have certificates. So somebody should help me do that. If I see that, I want to supervise your work. We need to do more in the sustainability of that. And they are saying green issues. Okay, so we are going to see how companies are going to adopt the practices in the supply chain that will reduce carbon emissions, that will reduce all the sustainable materials that is being given in the country. Now let's look at this.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Mr. Lawrence Opoku.
Sir, please, I have a question. Sir, please, is it always the case that we adhere to all the environment processes? Because looking at the place, for instance, the finance company that we are talking about, but they've not taken it. They are around the country.
And please, hello, please. I don't know if for all you are breaking and we are not getting you. So reposition yourself, and then if you are using your phone.
Okay, sir.
So start again, please.
Hello, sir. Is it okay?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hello, sir. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm
saying, is it always the case that we should adhere to all the supply requirements processes? Because looking at the budget probably that we have at hand, we cannot consider everything. Other than that, we cannot meet what we want. So, for instance, when you were using the finance company, farm milk, you don't consider putting dustbins on the streets, but the company stands for a very long period for now, and it is not collapsing. So with that, can we as a company also sometimes overlook certain things and then get ourselves well structured before?
No, if you say overlook, the answer will be no.
Okay.
No, because you cannot do it at a go, 1 year, solving all sustainability issues. No, even big companies like the one we are going to see here, Xerox, BP, British Petroleum, BMW, they are big organizations. They don't do it once. And so you cannot say because you don't do it, you are ignoring it or you are postponing it. They should have, you see, companies are recognized in other worlds. When in their budget, you see some of these things. You see it in their budget, say the company has voted $2 million for sustainability. Sustainability, not only putting dustbin, but even training, developing programs, going to the countryside, that's villages, other countries, the developing countries, and then underdeveloped countries, to because we are all using the same ocean. We are using the same sea, and so if once you educate people in maybe in Ghana for the coast, and then for the things, the rubbish that you dump into it, once you work on it, it affects them very well, positively. So you have to do it and do it gradually. But don't, for ignoring it totally, no, that is not acceptable. Every year, the big organization, they put budget, and that's what they made them, they become so proud of. We have budgeted 2 million and we'll make sure we spend it in this area. That's the statement you are going to study for now. Yes, Clement.
Concerning the green supply chain management, when somebody wants to build something like a petrol or fuel station, the Environmental Protection Agency gives a license. The same way the Lands Commission also comes in with some licensing. Now, talking about the green supply chain management, who is to be held accountable in terms of making sure that there's a green supply chain management among these two government organizations?
I'm sure they have a line. They have a line regarding responsibility. But indeed, both of them have the responsibility. And even our companies, these are government institutions, even our company, we have responsibility. For instance, the budget that we are discussing, see, if you like, I don't know where you work, but you go to your company and find out for the past 3 to 5 years, how much budget have they given for sustainability, global, or even in the area or other things. Sustainability, how much budget have they made? So institutions have been appointed, have been assigned to do that. They don't do, if you go there, they will tell you, you don't have budget, you don't have money, you don't have money. So it is, and honestly, it's a responsibility of all of us to make sure that we have all those things in place. As we think we have grown. I said the lifespan of Ghanaians have increased from 62 to, is it 65 or so? But how quality is our lifespan? Yes, we are now living longer than before. But how quality is our lifestyle? You struggle to die because we are not getting what you're supposed to get. Look at what is even happening in our markets. Now, instead of people going to the market to educate them, people are using Sudan to do to produce palm oil. People are using some other things on the market. And you find it difficult to know which one is good. And even voting money to go to the markets or buying airtime, either the TV or the radio station, to educate people, farmers, people not to use some chemical, not to use in production. You understand? The processes, like they say they are using, I've forgotten the name. There is a chemical that they use for at the mortuary.
Formalin.
Now this formalin, yes.
Formalin.
That's what the ladies, our own ladies who fear God than we the men. They are using formalin to process Kobe. So the process, you're talking about processes, manufacturing processes, methods. You understand? People are using smoke to dry cocoa. And then you have carbon monoxide on it, and people do it, and continuously they have cancers and what have you. So you understand, not only just gathering those letters around, but also educating, and that's what some other big companies are doing. They give monies to governments in Africa, but they divert these monies. They don't use it for that. Okay, now let's consider, let's look at this sustainable procurement statements that these 4 companies have made. I missed the Coventry time. Sometimes we do group discussions, and here we do serious debates. So we divide ourselves into about 4, and then you do presentation. I give it time, we do presentation on this. Now we can do that now. That's what we are coming to do. Now these are 4 companies, and the 4 companies is the HSBC Holdings PLC Sustainable Report. Theirs was 2007. Then we have Xerox. Who can tell me HSBC? Which organization is this? Then we have Xerox. Xerox Sustainable. Find out what is HSBC Holdings. Okay, now let's look at them one by one, starting from BMW. Okay, Ghana for say Be My Wife. It's a very good car. It's a very big automobile. It's a very giant automobile company in Europe, Germany, to be specific. Now, for Germany, BMW, they says their sustainable value report in 207 and then 208 reads, for us, an awareness of our social responsibilities is inseparable from our corporate self-image, company environmental protection. Okay, let me read again. For us, an awareness of our social responsibilities is inseparable from our corporate self-image. It's inseparable. Very good. Now that is even enough statement. So the company environmental protection can only be holistic if it really covers all links in the production chain. So here they are looking at the production chain and they are saying their environmental protection can only be holistic. It's a statement they are making. If it is really covers what all links in the production chain. It means they have committed themselves in dealing with what social sustainability, because they say you cannot separate sustainability from their self, but their self-being or their organization. You cannot separate it. It means they agreed to do it and invest in it. So if you have their document, if you Google the current ones, they will tell you how much they've spent, how much they invest, how much budget they have, okay, when it comes to sustainability. Now, because they say it is inseparable. It is. So if they spend one for good, there's one for the sustainability as well. Production against sustainability. So the quantum of investment increases when they are increasing productivity. Now, if you look at British Petroleum, the fourth statement. So wherever we work, we aim to be the local energy company, training and employing local staff at all levels, developing and using local suppliers, and contributing to the local community. I beg to differ in this statement because it's like what they say, they are saying here is not what they do. When they went to Nigeria, okay, BP and ExxonMobil, they went to Nigeria, and then where they are having their petroleum production, the people, is it Calabar or Annaba State or something? So the state where they are doing it, they did not take care of the people there. So the Nigerians around that area says, it's our land. If the government has given it to you, cry, it's our land. And so at least you need to take care of us. Majority of us should work in the organization. And that's what the mining companies in Ghana, they do. They employ people from Accra, and then they leave out the indigents, the people around, and then they revolt against them. Now, what happens is that the Nigerians, people who are affected in the night, they go and then bust the pipeline and then siphon petroleum because of the fact that they were ignoring them. Now, if ExxonMobil, if British Petroleum is doing this, fine. Now, what I like about them is that, say, developing and using local suppliers. So if the item can be supplied in Nigeria or in Ghana and they are here, they'll make sure the suppliers from here will do it. If you go to Gambia, the Ghana, they are not bringing everything from UK. And that is very good of them. Now, if you look at the other two, Xerox. Xerox is for printing, photocopier printing, and all type of machines, okay, and the papers. It's about valuing our employees and communities. So they've also mentioned employees. They've also mentioned their social around environment. Preserving our environment, very good, and returning value to our shareholders. I wish they use the word stakeholders. You know the difference between stakeholders and shareholders?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I wish they use the term stakeholders. Now, and for the future, Xerox views it not as a what? Cost of doing business, but a way of doing business. They are not looking at the cost of doing it, but they see it as a way of doing business. What way is that? It's about valuing their employees and then their communities. They value their communities. And Ghana here, sometimes it is our leaders. It's our leaders. Now, these politics, LDC and MPP, they are the same people. Instead of them negotiating for higher what is it, social amenities for the people in the village, if a mining company is coming, put that in the package. You need count about 10 to 20 communities of towns in the area. So we need 20 communities in the next 5 years. We need what is it, up to senior secondary school level. Senior secondary school at senior high about 10, and then so at least the government will be free. And the people in the community will also gain. If even we are not working there, and at least we are getting those amenities, not cheap compounds, hospitals. You understand? But our people do not think about it. And some of you guys are going to be ministers and you will not think about it. God don't punish you. Forgive me. So if you go there, don't do that. No, regarding sustainability statements, look at Xerox. Producing papers, if you know printers emit some gases into the office. Yes, it is common. One bit that I have here is a brand new one, and when the paper is coming out, you see some, I don't know what term to use, some chemicals or some vapor type of something coming from the machine, and we don't know what it causes to us. Okay, now I asked the question: what is HSBC?
Doc, please, is Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation. So it's a multinational banking corporation.
Very good. And so look at the statement they've made. Sustainability is about making decisions that maintain the right balance between the environment, society, and the economy to ensure long-term business success. Okay, so if you are doing banking, what do you contribute to work on the sustainability of the environment, the economy? Okay, so here, if you cannot do much as a banking institution, the economy, reducing interest rates such a way that people can do business without committing suicide. In Africa here, people do business and before they rise, they are committing suicide because the small loan will kill them. They realize that they cannot pay those loans and then they commit suicide. And it's against sustainability. So if you are doing business as a bank in Ghana, you want them to have a statement. If indeed you have a program, if you have an institution that monitor, let them all have a statement like all these big companies have statements. And then we monitor whether they go by those statements, they go working on about the statements. We need to do that. We need to do that. We need to do that. Now, you having global trends. Okay, and these global trends, we need to look at the current and emerging trends in the especially supply chain. And so in the global trend, we are looking at innovations. which is always rising. We'll talk about supply chain innovations before we close for the day. Innovations. Innovation is coming out with new ideas, policies, procedures, production methods, and what have you. Processes. Production, service capacity, and then capability. Corporate social responsibility. Sustainable procurement as a qualifier. Availability and use, availability, use, and depletion of natural resources. Renewable and non-renewable energy costs. These are all global issues that needs to look at, and what we supply chain people can do to enhance those issues. Changing skills base, worldwide demographic trends. Now, they say you are now having women, ladies, and if you don't look at it well, Ghana, we are silent on that. Anytime they come to secondary schools, TV, I listen to that. And sometimes you have 1,800 ladies, and you have about 900 boys. 1,800 girls, 900 boys. It is good because it is good if women are managing affairs of the world. Okay, but it is becoming so serious. Just this week, one university, once a senior high, is it in Bono, and they were showing their classroom and those things, and then they gave the statistics. It's like about 1,600 and 900. 900 boys, 1,600 girls. Is it a good trend? I want somebody to comment on that. Is it a good trend?
Yes, sir. Please, it is.
Why?
If you educate a woman, you have educated the whole nation.
Oh.
If you educate a man, you have educated an individual. If women were ruling the world, there will be lesser wars.
Seriously?
Empathy.
Seriously?
Please allow. It
Love,
is true.
I love that.
will rule the world. We women will not look on for children to die. We will not throw missiles and bombs at each other. We will only quarrel and not talk to each other when we see each other as presidents, as leaders. But we will not be killing ourselves. So I think when they educate more women, at the end of the day, the world will become a safer place to live in, say.
Twaso.
There's no time.
I saw a man's hands up, and then I just see me. Why have you? Because I wanted you to come. Let me hear you. Are you going to support? Okay, Pamela, let me hear you, Vera.
Okay, so Doc, so please, I also think that it's good, but just to add to Carolyn's submission, when you visit the various hospitals, you realize that we are giving birth to more females than boys. So I think that also contributes to the fact that now we see a lot of girls or women in schools. They are more than the guys. It just starts from the rate at which we give birth to females. So it is always higher than that of boys. So that is what I also think.
So my question is it good? Is it good in the future for us?
Oh, it's good. For us, we have soft hearts. Okay, so like Carolyn said, if women were in power, like the Russian-Ukraine war and the Iranian and Israeli war, we wouldn't be throwing missiles and bombs. The best we can do, or the worst we can do, is just not to talk to each other.
Are you sure?
But then we wouldn't cause, yes. So that's what I also think.
You see,
you
I'm
remember
looking at
Germany had the best female president, Angela Merkel. During that time, the economy of Germany was one of the best in the world. Afterwards, the men took over, and the situation and the story has not been the same, Look at, there's another lady president in one of the African countries. Since she became president, the economy, you bet it. So women,
Okay, so you are praying that we get a lady president in Ghana. But you are arguing one-sided. Your argument seems to be one-sided. Have you forgotten about marriages? If like that school statistics, 900 against 1,600, okay, close to 40% of so 900,600. How do we marry? How do women 1,600 marry 900? Well, have you
Oh,
thought about that one?
polygamy now.
Polygamy.
You see, when that one came in, see the men are now talking. That's what they
Yeah,
want.
it's because that's the field they like best.
Side chick level.
See them.
So
When it
I'm
comes to
sure.
marriage, I think in Africa here, we've made.
Oh, your line is gone.
So say.
No, your line, please come, the last statement you made. African here, what?
I am saying that they've placed a lot of emphasis on marriage when it comes to women. I think we should allow women to build themselves, build careers, without necessarily placing that emphasis of you need to be married to be fulfilled here in Africa. Marriage is good, yes, but I think women need to be more empowered to seek higher positions and build bigger careers than only placing us as being important only when we are married. Because I think it's something that has really affected a lot of women here. Even if a woman goes to become a CEO or whatever, she feels still not fulfilled because she has no husband. Marriage is good, but I think seek higher opportunities. Marriage will come. If marriage doesn't come, don't worry. Still build yourself as a person. That is what I want to say, sir.
Madam, over on the pause, marriage is also very important too. Madam, that one is very important. So you don't need to sweep it under the carpet. No, it's very important because if you have all what it takes and you don't have marriage, you don't have a man, that is also another issue. So we need more men as well. Clement.
Yes, Doc, it's very true. Men are very important. At home, I experienced something. I thought I was very strong, but my younger brother came out stronger than I am. So since then, I saluted and I let it lie. Men
It's
are
not
very.
all men. It's not all men. Some.
Similarly, it's not
percentage of it.
Dog.
Yes, Clement.
Yeah, looking at the population of Ghana, you realize that we have the female makes up about 50%, 50.7%. Yes, of that. And for that reason, we have more female than men. So in terms of education, we'll have more female going to school more than men. Now, for me, what I see in the future is that this is going to help us in making very good decisions. So that days that or organizations where we see a lot of male dominating, because we have a lot of female going to school to be educated, you're going to have a lot of them taking over some of these male dominated positions that can also help us move forward as a country.
But here's the case: they are their own self enemies. They are enemies themselves. Now, if it is so that women are many, why is the women stand there? Women don't vote for them. Now look at the educated ones that we have on the platform. They are intelligent people, but they will not vote for their colleague women when they stand for any position in the government. Why is it so? Siame, Obed.
Yes, good morning once again. I think the question you asked concerning the percentage of female and male at our university, I would say, in terms of birth, I think the rate at which the female are produced is more than the men. It's more than the female. That is why you can see that angle. Because
It's
if
not like that.
thousand cannot land so that we can come in. If 1,000 of female to enroll in university, and let's say 500. When you look at the statistic in our country as Ghana, the women are more than the men. The women are more than the men. Someone can check and prove me wrong. Are more than the men. That is what you are seeing. That is why you are seeing that angle in female being enrolled more into our tertiary than the male.
I understand you, but people are arguing and then debating in line with positions that they hold, and I'm saying that women.
So I'll come there.
Women do not vote their colleague women, and they see themselves as enemy. So even though women are many, men will continue to dominate in position. Caroline, what do you say?
So can I land?
So usually what happens is, you see, our society that we belong in, the perception and the roofing placed on women is what has created this.
Yes.
Oh, Caroline is gone. His line is not stable.
Sir, can you hear me?
No, the perception. It is you people who make that work. We are many. So anytime we stand, they should vote for us so that we make, good things that we are talking about. So how come you don't vote for yourselves?
No, they say it's not that we don't vote for ourselves. But you see, most of the time, if a woman is vying for a position and she comes out there to speak to her fellow people that, vote for me and stuff, the young man feel say, we cry into be a me money or baby worry or baby oh nyakwan or baby ma, like a woman told me some time ago, who cry me forward you mama into be a say kwako maternity leave. And so that kind of thing is there already. It's something we've been placed in some corner already. So it is an unspoken something rule which affects women. That is what I think. So when you apply for the position, people already think that we cry over MP and TBA cry on your kind and ma okay constituency problem or cry on to ma into your toma bema dear on case or menstrual pain on case or saying so those things are things that we have been placed under already as women. You understand? Unless you are very, very forceful before you can, lift your head above this kind of thing. It's not easy, say. There'll be no to.
My last question on the matter is this one is science. What is causing women giving birth to female children than men? What is causing it? It may be science, maybe religion, it may be what? What is causing that?
Please, that one there is the men, no.
That one is the men. No, the men
This question is the men's
it's for the men.
Yes, it's not the woman. It's what the men produce that brings out.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, so this one is a man something.
Is that
a man something?
Yes, please.
No, for the men. The men what they put inside is what
They give it to
out.
the side chick. So when it's
Hello,
your
sir.
turn, then
okay, so let one person finish. Let one person conclude, then we move on. Opoku, Lawrence, let's hear Lawrence.
Yes, sir.
Please go straight to my question, and then you go.
Yes.
Move on.
With regards to the reason why women are being produced more than men, one thing that I know is that when it comes to the sperm cell, it looks as if the men sperms are not stronger than the women. So always the women swim faster and gets the eggs earlier than the men. That is why we keep having female.
Wow, look at this.
No, it's not like that. Hello, sir.
That is true. And then with regards to the first question concerning the students, where the male students are plenty than the female students are plenty than the male. I am thinking the country is now heading towards a good direction, because now we are getting to understand the gender stereotyping situation well, because now we don't have a situation whereby women are to be in the kitchen whilst men also go to school. That is why now everybody wants the girl child to also be educated. And once they are also quite more than the men, they will definitely overtake the men in class. That's my point here.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, let's move on, because it's something that we need to debate and debate. It should be a national issue. Is this a good trend? Okay, so in a nation where we have too many women, is it the best than men? We will continue to discuss it. Let's continue discussion. We're going to go on break. I have just about some 50 minutes. Now, then the triple bottom line has these drivers. I've suggested that some people do research in this area. Okay, there's a supply chain sustainability and the triple bottom line. And the drivers here under economics, the values, the market, and then the lifestyle technology. So the values, we know what the values it is. And so if you look at it's the value of whatever the entire, so you have GDP, we have those things. The higher the GDP, gross domestic product of the nation, the strength that the nation has. Okay, and the more capacity in terms of production and everything. Okay, so what do we consider as very important and that we see value in for the country? The market, the type of markets that we have. Organizations or industry that have limited market or sole proprietorship, that they have sole dealership, okay, where we have buyer dominance and the supplier dominance. If it is not balancing, you have an issue. Then the lifestyle, okay. Now, like we said, our ages and other things are being influenced by the lifestyle that we live, okay, and the things that we take in, how we project ourselves as people. Now, the other side is the environment. Now, living standards. Now, I think the living standards is improving a little for Africa and for that matter, Ghana. And so, but we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do. The environment is affecting the living standard as well. Now, less natural, more artificial materials. That is what is being experienced here, and those are the drivers for the environment. Now, so we using instead of we cutting down wood, and then now what I'm even seeing is that we're using bamboo plants and some other trees to produce toothpicks. Now we have a plastic. So anything that is affecting natural plants, okay, we have to reduce it so that we have our greens, like we see on the first slide. We have our greens. So we use more artificial materials. Instead of we using tables and that thing, we use plastic tables. So if we using pallets, wooden pallets. Now the whole world is moving towards what? Plastic pallets. Okay, so yes, we need to use more artificial, less natural. Then another issue that Ghana, for that South Africa, we are underlooking, because we have our own reasons and excuses, is the social transparency when it comes to even procurement. But Ghana is doing well when it comes to transparency because of the Procurement Act and what the procurement is doing. Now everything is on the Ghanaians So transparency, we are improving upon it. I think we Nigerians are doing well, and Malawi, Rwanda, they are also doing well. Some other countries are doing well, South Africa as well. Okay, so if you have transparency, if you have corporate governance, okay, and if you say corporate governance is delving into company culture, and then how company does things in the space of accountability, transparency, fairness, responsibility. Some people's microphone is on. Okay.
Tony,
Please, somebody's microphone is on. Jude, I see you.
Please, Tony.
Jude, I see you. Please check your microphone. Yeah, so taking the stakeholders, what they do in our company, corporate governance, the way and the manner we do things. Okay, similarly, you see things that the government institutions do, and it is similar to one another. But what do things we do that affect our social lives, okay, in our work, at our workplaces? Okay, so we need to work on that. And life expectancy is also growing, and it's also affecting the social bottom line, the triple bottom line, especially the social. Okay. Now, you can also see this pestle. Apart from the ethical, we also have pestle factors being also affected by these social responsibilities, and they are affected in these ways: political, economics, social, technology, legislation, and what? And then legislature, and then
environmental.
Okay, so if you take them one by one, you see how they are being affected by them. These are external factors. So these are beyond even corporate bodies, organizations, corporations, enterprises, and some entities. Now, political, how government policies, targets, and incentives, agendas, and whatever, they target all those things: agenda, workforce, diversity, education policies, and so on and so forth. Economy, let's look at economy. Principles of supply and demand, cost of external resources, exchange rates, employment markets, availability of materials, energy and fuels. These are all economic issues. Social, we have availability of skills. Yeah, we are developing a little by little, poco a poco. Working conditions and practices, social, corruption, corporate citizenship, societal values, fair trade, wages and salary, child labor, all these parts, wages and salary, child labor, technology, communication, innovation, new sustainability, sustainable materials and processes, legislature, laws. Okay, laws. So these are all external. The personal factors are all external, and then it's usually the government. Then the environment. Any questions at this stage? Now, our next topic that we're going to look at is globalization, and how globalization has impacted supply chain activities. How globalization has impacted supply chain activities. Now, indeed, the supply chain is becoming a global thing, and that's what I call, as mentioned from the early beginning, is a network. It's a network. Network is a network of companies. So supply chain says a network. We have moved from supply chain to supply network of companies, of organizations. So we don't even like with the people in the supply chain. Remember integration. We have vertical and horizontal integration. We integrate people, companies, and what have you, those that are horizontal. What did you say about that? Let me see. What did I say about horizontal integration? Quickly, somebody answer this, then we go on break. What did I say about horizontal integration? Wow. The whole class? We talked about integration, and so we have two types of integration. We have vertical integration, and we have horizontal integration. And vertical integration, I said, where you add in by way of methods of production, processes, procedures, and even the entire company itself, we add by other through making those companies as part of your organization, taking decision with them. And then here we are looking at people in the supply chain, vertical. So suppliers, ourselves, and then downstream partners. So distributors, retailers, wholesalers, and then consumers. Okay, if you're able to integrate a distributor, a distribution company in your organization, it is what? It is good. That's vertical. And you say horizontal. Horizontal is when you study some competitors, and you integrate them. That's why we mentioned leaders. Companies in industries have leaders, and they have followers, and they have niche marketers. We can sometimes integrate some of these competitors in a way if they can make our work well. So we are going to look at how globalization can impact on our economies, how globalization can be affected by the supply chain, and so on and so forth. And so we give ourselves 30 minutes and then we'll meet again. So please take something light so that when I ask questions, we can answer. No fufu, no banku. If rice,
Okay,
more. Okay, so let's
Send me, I
process.
have fufu.
30 minutes break. Yeah, about 60. So please put on the platform. Remind people that we are back. 3 minutes now. We are back. So the number should populate. 66% is not enough. Therefore, break and you have the number dropping to 66. Yeah, so global supply chain. Just as the name implies, this is more, we are yet to see more complex supply chains. And one of it is the global type, increasing as a result of networking with organizations outside the confines of your country. So networking with Europe, Asia, America, and so on and so forth. So you're going to see the complexities that come with it. Now, what are driving the global supply chain? And now, the global supply chain, seeing it in the market as market. Okay, so there is a small area. Fine, we have 70% now of the people. Yes, dare to go to 98% because we have about 101 or 105. So these are the drivers of global supply chain market. We are linking chain to market because the supply market is mainly two people, the buyer and then the supplier. The buyer and the supplier. And then we have the third party purchasing. Okay, we explain it somewhere. I haven't, if I have not explained it. Third party purchasing involving intermediaries, people who are not producing but selling, people who have made themselves consultancy buying for organizations. They're also part of the market. We have a situation in the markets whereby suppliers become dominant because we call it supplier dominant market. We also have a situation where buyers become dominant. And then that is where we have buyers dominant markets. So we have types of markets. But the simple one that we know, simplest, is the demand and supply type of market. Okay. So what is indeed driving this market of supply chain? So the first one is competition, driving for cost reduction, technological advances, the speed of new product development, the speed at which new products are developed. Second. Changing customer demand, environmental factors, these are our drivers. And at our stage, our level now, each one of you should be able to explain why some of these factors can become a driver of the increase in supply chain. Okay. Now, outsourcing to low-cost labor economies. This is a driver, even though it's a challenge. Okay, low-cost labor economies. Okay, lowering of tariff technical and physical barriers, free movement of labor is also a driver. Okay, Asians, Americans migrating to China for their production. Okay, and people are making themselves visa-free just to encourage free movement into their country. Workers' rights, opening up of professions, capital movements, company law. Now, company law is going through a lot of changes in the entire world, and it's causing, it's affecting supply chain factors. It's a driver. So if I say drivers of supply chain, something that makes it positively grow or dwindle the market. So some laws like these company laws, affect the entire market in terms of the sub-regions, the countries in which they operate. Some laws are not favoring other countries. So public procurement, green and ethical pressures, the use of having some other things in the production rather than natural items. Now, for instance, using recycled materials, okay, like aluminum or copper, instead of using petroleum, using the natural copper itself. And then sometimes the use of bioplastic materials instead of using petroleum-based plastics, solar energy to replace fossil fuels, biodegradable packaging instead of single use of plastics. So all green issues that countries are confronted with, and for that matter, they are companies. Okay, new sources of raw material and a convergence in cultural values and then consumer taste. These are all factors that indeed affecting the global supply chain and global markets in the supply chain. Now, so it can be broken into these four, and that is the what Johnson and Scholes have developed. Now, global competition, high interdependence, global competitors, making the supply chain very complex, high export and imports. Then it comes to global market convergence. You saw convergence there. Similar customer needs, global customers, transferable marketing, and cost advantages, scale, economic of scales, sourcing efficiencies because of the boom nature of supply chain and the supply markets. And these sourcing efficiencies, there are so many suppliers now than before. Country-specific costs, the need for us to look at our country and what is making our supply chain very expensive and see how best as managers we can reduce it. The higher product development cost, what is making it so? Technology, we are not using technology-based in the design and manufacturing, in the development of products, hence increasing the cost of developing products, government influences, and so on and so forth. Now, our next stage is looking at e-commerce and supply chain. This one, I know you might have done some in other jurisdictions. Sure, a degree, and you might have read some of these things at your own pace, and that will also push you somewhere. The e-commerce, you have types of e-commerces and what have you. So e-commerce is the electronic supply chain business that we are going to look at. So e-business, electronic. If you come to procurement now, see how now procurement has become so electronic, reducing paperwork and bureaucracies. Okay, everything is becoming computer based and a computer network. You are here and then you do negotiation just on the platform of through Teams and Zooms, doing negotiations of flying, taking time, wasting resources going to do that. And that's electronics. That's what we are getting now. So now production, because of electronics, production is focusing on processes that is smart, that is fast, and that is cost effective. So procurement electronics, link of suppliers through MRP2, ERP, APS. Now ERP and then APS are the new thing that we are going to see. We have talked about MRP1, MRP2, manufacturing resource planning. Then ordering stock replenishment, payment processing, production controls, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we're also going to look at here two other slides. One development that is happening is in a supply chain, especially at the extreme end of the supply chain, between the production and the delivery process. The production
Marvin, or say to please.
Marvin, please mute it. Marvin.
Unfortunately, too, the person said he's a criminal.
Sorry, dog. It's my phone. Sorry, dog.
I mean, there's no. Don't sorry me. What I heard is what I'm talking about. The person said you are a criminal. Why did he say so? Oh, you didn't hear yourself.
No, dog. I'm using headset.
I'm sure other people heard it. So we'll try to investigate the supply chain of your criminality. Kelvin, I should have known you before. I should have heard it before the face-to-face class, so that I'll come and start my investigation. Yeah. So the last mile delivery. Now we need to optimize our last mile delivery to make savings and satisfy our customers, and then enhance the supply chain visibility in that area. The last mile delivery is one of the modern innovative supply chain issues. And our supply chain has been managed well by the supply chain managers, but up to production, always trying to make sure they get the items to the production department so they produce as expected. But when it comes to the downstream, the customer, the final consumer, that's where we have left much work to be done by the distributors, the wholesalers. And so customers are complaining. And so some organizations have moved further to introduce this last mile delivery issue in the supply chain, and an issue where production okay, it's not left at our doors, our exit doors, but they are delivered upon order directly to the consumers. And then last mile delivery is where you have the point to kill. Okay, you point and then there they kill within 20 minutes, your meat is ready. And one of the issues concerning the last mile delivery are the customers' willingness this time to taste things fresh as they may be, fresh, to right from the farm straight directly to the consumer in consumer's home, straight. Okay, and so now companies are calculating the cost of doing this as against the concept itself. So one of your seniors, I supervise last mile delivery work, and I was so happy. But in Ghana, how we are taking this last mile delivery, okay, too. Now, customers are agile. They are agile. And then we also have to, so we have to manage this agility with the customers. And we have to blend agility and then lean. Now, because customers are agile, which simply means they change taste very quickly. Customers change taste very quickly. So if it's handbag, they have one, and every 3 months they want to change, especially the ladies, they want to change the type of handbags, and then they want the one with the name, brand name. Okay, so if it's Nest from UK, NEXT products, they want to see different brands and different versions of the brand. That's agility, changing customers' preference within short period of time. So customers are agile. And then in as much as customers are agile, companies will initially companies were employing so many people so that at least they can be producing to meet the agility of customers. But another management that we call lean also introduces itself and says, no, in as much as the customers are agile, we also have to go lean. So we need to reduce labor, we need to reduce equipment, we need to reduce steps in processes, we need to reduce people, we need to reduce so many things. Go lean. So going lean against meeting customers' agility is two contradictory issues. Okay, now companies want fresh, right from the farm, it's in their house, especially the rich people in the other world. Right for the farms, they drive straight to, without even any cold room material, without any chemicals, you drive straight to so from farm to the cooking pot. You understand? And that's the last mile delivery. And how we optimize it, it's about so many things. Now, it makes delivery very expensive because it involves the use of other resources, people who are trained on the last mile delivery optimization thing, equipment, gadgets, okay, transport, and other things. And so it's more of what delivery and logistics issue. And I told you logistics is under supply chain. Now, the drivers of e-businesses, electronic businesses, let's see coming. These are the types of e-businesses. You have C2C, you have B2C, you have B2B, government, G2B, and then G2C. Okay, so these are all interfaces that e-commerce has brought. And if it's C2C, customer to customer, how customers gain satisfaction from other customers. what length relationship do you have between the customer and the customer? Okay, so customers can be competitors in a way, competing for the output of other companies. And how do we make sure we get what we want as a company? Okay, so globalization and communication, they are drivers of new supply chain and the e-business, e-commerce. Globalization, because of the fact that we are becoming a global place. Now the last mile delivery optimization is not just the country, within the country, but also international. And that's what I said, that we are becoming one global place. So getting things fresh should be in Ghana. If the Burkina Bay people now going to pick tomatoes there, they kill us. What can they do still to get last mile optimization? By using air. Okay, so if they have money, they have cargo planes that will come from Burkina Faso, and then you meet them at Terminal 2 and you use articulated trucks to pick this. They can do that business if they have money, because we are in the last mile business world now. We want to see things fresh. You understand? So when you are looking at the globalization and communication, it's indeed something that is causing this e-commerce and e-businesses. So these things are unfolding one from one to the other. The internal and external integration, we can talk about that. Data information management, new business processes, strategic cost management, looking at the long-term and the cost management in a holistic way, collaboration, agility that we just talked about, and speed of delivery, speed of production, speed of development of products, speed of delivery, and then services. Okay, and these are the benefits of last mile e-commerce. So we have all this breaking down into pieces. Okay, B2B, C2C, and all those things have been explained here. Go read about them. Though they are not examinable area for this time, some other time some students wrote exams on it. And it's even wrong to say that, because that will not even let people listen and take it very important. Please read. It's a modern and the classic way of looking at supply chain. And then people are, you cannot do supply chain without looking at what you are talking about. One way to also to make all these innovations work is through the introduction of enterprise resource planning, ERP. Now, it is a matter of linking up all organizations and all departments, and then partners, suppliers, okay, especially the main suppliers with the mainframe, okay, that we call e-business. So that at the click of the procurement person's desk, at the computer, all the people in the chain among these ERP systems can have a look at it. So when there's an order from one person, the suppliers who are involved in producing the items see that order and then they prepare. Now, looking at how safe and how we can increase supply chain optimization, how we can optimize supply chain at lesser cost, making supply chain visibility, okay, at a lesser cost. So we can do that through the ERP. We say it's a system of a single, fully integrated management system, okay, which consolidates a firm's materials management, manufacturing, MRP2, finance, human resource, customer relations, logistics, and the supply chain, sales and marketing. So you can see it's a platform of technology that when the customers make an order, with what you call, you not teach it, maybe another course will teach it, bullwhip effect. We get with a tip of a change or of making a demand by a supplier or by the suppliers, other people in the supply chain, not only within the internal supply chain, but also the external suppliers are also aware. Production people, everybody is aware. And so everybody sit up and see what he's supposed to do using one interface, okay, that we call ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So once an action is initiated by any partner, any member, any department, any organization, okay, it triggers and then it continues the calculations. For instance, the MRP, Materials Requirement Planning. Now, once the order is made by the Kuwaiti government that they need 200 pickups by a certain date. Now, production people gets it. It is automatic and it goes through the system. So you production, what you need to do is to do the MRP, Materials Requirement Planning, and then do MRP2, Manufacturing Resource Planning, which how many engineers would you need to complete the order? Nobody will come to your doors. Nobody will even give you a shout or a call that this order is what you have received. But the moment it triggers in the system like a bullwhip, the effect goes through for everybody in the picture to know, and then start the planning. Okay, so that's the ERP. ERP, you can see all what we have here is here, from customer to suppliers, from suppliers to customers. So once a customer, okay, like a distributor makes an order, the order goes through the systems, and all other people who are affected by this order triggers procurement activities, triggers manufacturing, production, and logistics, and all what we have. It's a complex situation, but that is all to what make supply chain visible. That's to make supply chain visible. And let's look at the current trends in the supply chain management. Where are we? I think we started the history. We started with the history, and then we can look at where we are now. But trust me, if you look at the trend that is yet to come, it's going to be a good place. So young guys, young people amongst us, young people like you guys listening, avail yourself, learn, and match up your intellect, match up your knowledge that you have acquired in supply chain and other areas to beef up with the strategies that you have to make to match with the new trends of supply chain. Now, supply chains will be more agile. You have explained agile as what? We also trying to supply to meet the customer's changing needs. So, and that's why we think ahead. We plan ahead. And plan ahead doesn't mean buying materials, buying raw materials and keeping them because you know in the next 6 months there will be this order. No. By planning and optimizing materials in such a way that even though you are planned and you have volumes to produce next 6 months, you don't need to stockpile raw materials, but do what? Arrangement. Do arrange the deliveries of those raw materials with their suppliers and suppliers by working on the quality of the item so that when you receive them, it's going straight to manufacturing. By cooperating and collaborating with the suppliers in such a way that when the items are received, it's going straight to production. The agility. And then flexibility. You can be flexible only when you don't tie yourself into raw material inventory. So you see, we studied some time back that inventory is a necessary evil. And so be careful, you don't tie yourself into inventory, having them in the warehouse because now supply chain is more agile. No, it's about your arrangement. By doing sourcing, ethical sourcing, making sure that whatever that you do takes care of the sustainability and everything that we discuss. It's a complex world, okay? So it's going to be flexible, integrated to reflect customer expectations. So lean and agility. Company going lean. You see about 200 people now reduced to just about 50. But being seen to be more efficient than it used to be. More agile, more flexible. You turn yourself this way. Consumers also compare competitors' products. You are producing this, other companies producing that, but now they have added one feature. What do? You study the feature and quickly you incorporate it into yours. So before the order, you get yourself ready and you put it. And that's how the supply chain is becoming more complex, very, very, very complex. But with technology like IoT, internet, IA, and then so on and so forth, machine learning, you'll be able to predict what is coming and you do what is necessary. There's going to be greater use of e-businesses. You discuss e-business at the B2B, B2C, C2B, G2, and so on and so forth. There's going to be greater use. So all these businesses, all these interfaces, how they link up and what they demand at some point in time. There's going to be emphasis on reserve logistics. Reserve logistics. So managing logistics, okay, with predictive consciousness. Okay. Now what you do is that the movement that you do, what next? So as you are doing this currently, what next is your calculation? Okay, and you're making sure that what you have, expertise and other things that you have, would give you that morale to push the movement and then production ahead of time. More use of value-adding third-party logistics providers. Yes, you're going to use more people because of outsourcing. Supply chain management performance measurement, focusing on quality. Yes, it's not an issue of just supplying. What are you supplying? Okay, so you set KPIs and then see at every point in time how much of the KPIs have been achieved. Okay, the performance measurements, focusing strictly on quality, more on quality, not strictly, more on quality. Continuous improvement, speed of delivery, flexibility, and value. It's a complex thing. Matching quality, continuous improvement. Okay, so for once a product comes out, continuously, you look at, you send the people out, they do, they collect data as to the quality, how they feel, how they find. The quality is in the hand of the user, not you, the producer. So what did they say? Yes, they asked us last time you should increase, you should reduce sugar. You have reduced it. How has it affect the supply, the consumption? Okay, how has it affected the consumption? Sometimes just reducing something or increasing something will change the curve of your market, and then that has to be worked on. Continuous improvement. Japanese people call it Kaizen. Kaizen. K-A-I-Z-E-N. Continuous improvement. Speed, flexibility, and value. Then going green and sustainability. So supply chain is going green and greener and greener and greener. So a time will come that they look at what the source of your production, and then they stop manufacturing. At this point, somebody talked about cocoa industry, answered the question about cocoa industry, and he made a statement that scared me. That if you don't take time, if you don't take care, consumers will stop using cocoa because of non-compliance. Compliance to customers' demand. Okay, not going at the quality that we want. Ethical issues. All these things are areas that we need to know. Then we have circular economy. These are all new modern type of supply chain that you young guys need to read and read more, introduce some innovations in it, and then come out with your statement, and sometimes you become an authority in the area that we can cite you. So some of you should start publishing. After the research that you've done, students even asked me, what should they do? I said you should summarize, take key issues, and then compress your work from about 90, 80 pages, sometimes some have 100, 120 pages, to about just about 12 to 15 pages. Compress it and publish it. Some of you should come into that area, okay? Research and development, R&D. And that is what advanced countries are priding themselves of. Now, the moment you will be able to research and you develop, you become so innovative, and then always fresh in our market, and then become the leader and not the follower. A circular economy and supply chain visibility. Okay, we are looking at ways to reduce waste and promote the reuse and recycling of materials. So, and then improve real-time visibility into supply chain activities. It's a model that people are now championing. Every year, things come. This outsourcing, I think 1985, it was a popular something that some of these authors became so popular out of it. Now, for each time in the supply chain history or story, you get people championing some few things and making noise with it. But we Africans see they are making noise, but it is the order of their day now. Okay, that's what is on is a trending issue. Okay, so circular economy is a model, and it's aimed to what? Reduce waste and the consumption of resources by promoting the reuse, recycling of the products. Reuse, recycling. So if our procurement and supply chain system focus on that, we will save the whole world, and then sustainability issues can be promoted easily. So that things that Nigeria, Ireland is doing well, is doing better when it comes to biodegradable, the use of biodegradable material. So the the pure water that we say here, the material can be they say it's a biodegradable material, okay? And once you throw those materials away, the empty sachets are within a matter of months, it cannot be seen. I don't know what Ghana, we are not investing into that. I don't know whether it's very expensive or not. So all pure water manufacturers, all bottled water manufacturers, and then when you go to some markets in our gutters, they're all choked. But as they are in the gutters, with water, within short time, you cannot find them again. Okay, so that's the circular economy, looking at waste, okay, and how resources are consumed, and how we can manage to save costs for their country, and then make our environment clean and neat with less sicknesses or no sicknesses. Now, examples of classical examples of circular economy: offering product as a service. And Rolls-Royce are not just producing their vehicles because it's very expensive and the materials are very expensive. Quality materials are very expensive. So what they do is that instead of they selling their Rolls-Royce, you read through our terms and conditions. If you can afford, you sign, and then you drive away the vehicle. Once you drive away, you just pay some commitment. You pay some, like Ghana is like hiring or rental fees, and that's all. Okay, so the ownership of Ghanaians will not say we own the item, and so that's it. It's about how you manage those items. Now, biodegradable materials usage. In Ghana here, we are doing well, Zoomlion, turning solid waste with other biodegradable into fertilizer in Ghana. I don't know whether that project is still ongoing, but when you're going to Kolebu, you see them on the left-hand side there. They are doing very well. Then you have closed loop production, collecting old products and recycling into new products. Okay, if you're able to do that, it's also a circular economy, recycling, sharing economy, and then use this car business like Uber, taxis, and other things, promoting collaboration for partners for individual ownership. So this time Ghana here, what is coming is they give you the car and then you pay, and they have a term for it. Taxi, so that you drive those taxis not at your cost or the cost of the owner, but after some time you become the right owner of the vehicle. And so work and pay also.
Dog, work and pay.
Yeah, work and pay. Work and pay also. Yeah, circular economy. It adopts principle that includes the design of the model to create products that can be reused, recycled, biodegradable, in a closed loop production. So you produce the items, you look at materials that can be reused, that can be recycled. So even after the tenure of this vehicle's life cycle, you can still have a different item or a similar items in the same. So going back, if it's copper, you're not going to mine the copper from the soil again. You expose the land to this bare sand and whatever. Waste reduction. The design will manage efficient production practices as well as customer safety in consuming such products. Okay, so here you have to look at efficiency in production practices and to consider the users, the customers, the users, their safety and their life. Sharing collaboration with supply chain partners by way of materials, expertise, technology to improve efficiency. Sharing collaboration with supply chain partners. So coming together to ensure, to raise more material from circular economy, and then not going back to the natural things, because they are depleting, and then the time will come, all those things will be finished from the soil. So what will you do again? Okay, so like the example that I said, even just toothpick, people think as you cut down the trees and you just use it for toothpick. Plastic can do that. No, so you serve, and these are what you call circular economy production, coming together with all the partners and then developing areas to make sure you stop using the naturals. Okay, so environmental benefits, okay? Economic benefits, resource conservation, then waste reduction through reuse and then recycling. These are all the benefits. We thank God we are ending soon, okay? Aren't we happy we are ending soon?
Dog, we are.
Oh dear, it's so stressful.
Very, very, very happy.
It's very stressful.
I'm very happy for Olumen like me.
Yeah. How old are you? Okay, don't say it. Don't say it.
Oh, I can say it.
Somebody may be older than you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have about 7 years to go in retirement. So.
Oh, that is the people that I want.
Wow. Hey.
What is the A in this? Somebody may be older than him. We don't know.
Sure.
Somebody may be older than him.
I think the person saying it is lying.
Do you know the person?
How?
Why how?
Who said I'm lying? Who said that?
You know.
You don't know me.
Well, that's your age.
No, let me tell you. Unfortunately, that's why when I meet you, I tell you at the face to face, you need time to get closer in the network. I want to teach at Gimpa, and not knowing a husband and a wife was in class. A husband and a wife. They're elderly. So please, for the age, if you meet anybody on the platform, respect the person. Then let me tell you the second thing too. Some of the people that you see are very rich on the platform. And there are those people that make, no, I don't have to say that. That some of them they don't even contribute in class. They all just take what it takes, and then they just want a certificate, and then seeing themselves with how ready they are, they think they need some certificates. Because when they meet at business meetings and other things, it's like they always bow in shame. Why is it that I have all this money? And so one student told a friend in class that he has some businesses and he wants one of these supply chain procurement lectures to do because it's technical. And then the guy said, why are you saying this? Why don't you try Dr. Opoku at Gimpa? So I was there and somebody called me, and then I don't know people. Then this student told me, "Sir, I have this work for you. I don't know what I will do." I said, "Tell me, I'm a consultant. If it's my area, I will do." And he explained briefly. I said, "You let the person talk to me and let the person give me detailed explanation." And then he gave me this details. He gave me some explanation. I gave my number to that man. And then a certain man called me in the evening. Sir, a man in the class gave me your number that they have this assignment if you can do. See a student too. A German will say, see who is talking on. Then what happened is that we had to meet at the hotel. This man gave me his assignment. Hey, he has as many as 10 3-bedroom self-contained flats, 9 2-bedroom self-contained flats, like a town. I'll not mention the place. Ready for sale. And then he was doing finishing touches. No, 19 flats, like a town, with halls and walls and everything. And it has a lot of workers. I went to his factory. He has a big factory, like the whole compound there, our Ghana Telecom, with a drive-in, forklifts and other things. In fact, I met you the first time. I said, no. The question I asked him was, "Sir, so how did you feel when I was teaching you?" So I said, why? Why are I asking? I said, no, look at me teaching you here. So what do I, because it's like you know everything. How did you make all these things? He has flats, he has houses in so many places. And then anytime he met me, $100 after lunch, he opened the purse and his wallet and it's $100. Well, in simple, that's all. So, have this as meanwhile we have taken lunch. The lunch that we take to is very expensive, like at hotels.
So why are you?
Oh, and then that's all. So you see, what when I meet people, I'm going to meet the undergrads. He was in undergrad level 300. And the man's property and assets, you see, if you're about, he has shops at Sprinters, at Sprinters, and so many places. I feel them say, no. I don't understand how, without degree, you have made up to this stage. So trust me, you have people in your class that they are very quiet. They just want a certificate. Sometimes they are free, they will mingle to know some people. But most of them are very quiet. They will not even contribute in class. They just want the certificate. They want the knowledge and have the certificate. So when you are in the midst of all these people, you simply have to manage your behavior well, network, and make sure you link up to people. Because the people that he has, there was another guy I teach at Methodist University. It's near, so let me just give you some of this advice. And this man, anytime I park beside him, and he's using fresh Land Cruiser, fresh. Ghana call it Sierra. And always there's a driver in it, and the engine is on throughout the time I'm teaching. Somebody sitting in it, the driver. So I asked Karim, I asked the course rep, who is this person that I always park beside? And his engine is always on throughout. So you don't know him? Then he said, excuse my language, he's a Fianga boy view. And that guy has a company, I want to mention the company's name. And he was at level 300. So one day, I did not go with my car, and I told the student that because of that, I would close very early. And then this course rep mentioned it to the guy. So no, I did not come with a Land Cruiser, but I came alone. So I'll go with I even want to have an opportunity to talk to this man directly. So I sat in this car. His Benz, and there's a type of Benz, every 30 minutes to massage you. So the first time, it massaged me from my neck to my back. And then I started looking at the man's face. Then he was smiling. Then he asked me, say, what's happening? I said, no, something is going at my back, and then wait, what is it? Then he was laughing. My first time of seeing a Benz like this, massaging every 30 minutes. And it's a special Benz that I've not ever since still seen one on the. And then he is in charge of, he has so many vehicles. And let me mention, the work that he does is every government that comes, whether NDC or NPP, he has that business. The cars that go to take presidents and dignitaries from outside coming, other local people or foreigners, it is scarce. And that boy will be at 35. I wonder how he made money as at that age. Every country, every government that comes, he is doing that business. And his office is at about 2-3 houses away from Kufo. He told me, say, this plot that you see there, I'm eyeing it. I've asked my boys to go and then negotiate with the woman. The man is selling, and he's saying it's 1.5. I thought 1.5 asking. He said $1.5 million. I said, Martha, you are buying plot one. I said, yes, I want to put this ultra modern $1.5 million, and that boy, you have it. No. So, and he was in level 3 and he was in class. Then the Karim guy told me, sometimes when they open school reopens, he pays more than 10. Not a single time that he has paid just one, a minimum 10. He asked Karim, bring me the class rep, bring me the list of people who have not paid their fees. Then he'll pay all. I was selling handouts. I said, no. I should give it to the course rep. Then he will distribute to everybody. He will pay. He said, who is this man? So please, as we sit, that is opportunity that God has given you to have a class like this. It's an opportunity. Mingle, talk to anybody. Now you've done face-to-face. For new people that have come, you continue to do face-to-face for every course. Please mingle. You don't know who will help you one day. You don't know why God has put you together in one classroom for a class. Now, the end is near, isn't it? You're going to see supply chain innovations. Supply chain innovations. So I do respect every student that come my way, because you don't know each person's back. I can tell you countless stories about students that I've taught, and then I meet them later and say, hey, so you were in my class and you are like this? You understand? So supply chain innovations are very important area that we also need to be abreast with. Is the introduction of new or improved processes, products, services, or business models to create value and driving growth in the supply chain business. Now, so how we identify where we are now, and then we see our trends, where the supply chain is going, and then the products, the processes, and how can we be innovative, change things, change people, change machines, change equipment, change processes. Okay? And then sometimes in the bigger picture, even change business. Okay, change business. Using all those management, supply chain management strategies that we have learned, diversification, acquisition, partnership, and so on and so forth, outsourcing, product develop, supply development, and so on and so forth. Use them, use them. We are training you not to go and work, but to become entrepreneurs. Like I meet you and have a story to tell. A lecturer meet you and a lecturer has a story to tell. You understand? Now, so here, when it comes to process innovation, okay, improving existing supply chain processes. So what is the supply chain processes? Sometimes we have the traditional supply chain processes, which is not helping the organization. How do you help? How do you make sure that supply chain visibility becomes so clear? Okay, how supply chain visibility becomes so nice for the organization. Then product innovation. Now, using digital supply chain innovations, developing new or improved products, changing, now using the agility of customers, changing needs of the customers, and then producing it. Okay, that meet the changing customers' needs and preferences. Using technologies, driving digital supply chain innovations, blockchains, IoTs, AI, machine learning, okay, robotics, smart contracts, developing contracts. Smart contracts is when you develop contracts, that becomes a template for subsequent contracts. So here, what you do is that contracts that are automatically executed when conditions are met. You set conditions that when these things happen, you form this contract. You develop the first time, subsequently you keep the information, the data, the analysis, the analytics in the machine, in the system, in the whatever platform that you are using, IoT and whatever, AI and whatever. Once we put them in the system, okay, subsequent ones, you don't need to go through the procurement process and waste much time, waste resources. What you do is that you do a smart contract by signing, by making the machines, the systems, the data analyze and then give the approvals. It is automatic, predictive maintenance. Okay, with the predictive maintenance, what you do is that you look at, it's like a crystal ball in the production processes. Now, predicting, trying to foresee what is likely to happen. Okay, if the machine is likely to break down, you should be able to see, and then you are being guided by the equipment, by the systems, and those things that we are mentioning. When this happens, this happens. When this happens, this happens. Scenario analysis and other analysis. Those times we will learn scenario analysis. This time it's IoT, okay, using those technologies and AI and that kind to predict maintenance. Okay, not necessarily every 6 months machine breaks down, but there should be a signal in advance that shows that there's a likelihood that something is going to happen. And so once it shows, you work on it before it happens. Machine farm back is going to break, and if it breaks, the whole system will jam. What do? There should be a predictive maintenance story on the machine. Okay, that shows other amber, yellow, red, green, indicating something, that somebody has to do something. Autonomous vehicles. These are also product innovation involving vehicles. Now that is self-drive. Now, we have self-drive vehicles. You buy it, you just go sit in it and you give instruction and it takes you to work, it takes you home without touching any other thing. It comes and it packs. Okay, self-drive machines. These are all things that are coming. Okay, then service innovations, introducing new and improved services and making sure that those services are met according to the need of the suppliers, the customers. Okay, so please, then you have blockchain technology. We've been talking about it. The use of blockchain technology is being explored to improve supply chain transparency, traceability, and security. Okay, it's one of the revolution, part of the revolution. that is coming. It's ongoing, not even coming, ongoing. Okay. So blockchain technology, okay, blockchain in supply chain. This one, Dr. Obendanso will be teaching you, those who have not, will be doing this in detail, okay? So it is used to track real time and then also do monitoring and then ensure tamper-proof and secure data. What is this? Storage. Now, so we have tamper-proof as a designed to prevent unauthorized access or changes. So here you not see, nobody can meddle in the process of production. It's a tamper-proof. You cannot. Now the system is such that it is robust, and then once it's set off, nothing can change it. And so you cannot just change anything as it is now or before. Improve collaboration and data sharing, automated smart contracts and payment. There were smart contracts and then payment. So through ERP, once supply has been made, deliveries have been made, all the department, production people know it through ERP that this raw material have been received and it's been sent here. And then when it is received, it happens, we do this, we add that. Now, all those things is in the system. Those that will add, they also have the information, data that the item has been received. So they are waiting for their 10, it gets there, and then they do the needful. And so you see, everything becomes so technological. Blockchain, okay? So the benefit is so enormous. The benefit is so big. Then AI, sorry, and then machine learning. AI and machine learning. And in the same manner, Dr. Obendanso is going to teach you the technicalities of the use of AI in the supply chain management, and then you have it. Then how do you implement supply chain innovations, change management? Some of us have to go off so that you young guys come. My friend that mentions 7 years before retirement is close to me, but it is good you are here studying with the young ones, okay? So that at least you keep yourself abreast of time. You may be an entrepreneur, you may be you may own a factory, and then you understand, because you already understand what is going on. If a young production manager suggests to you that we need a blockchain interventions, we need softwares, we need this to enhance productivity, enhance whatever. Okay, once you are here, you also understand, and sometimes you can even make initiation. You make the initiative, you start the process because of the innovations that you have already learned. And then you also need to do stakeholder engagement. Now, if you are in the supply chain and you understand some of these things because you have schooled, okay, Dr. Moses has taught you, Dr. Opoku has taught you how to teach supply chain. At least you have a lot of things on mind. Okay, what you need to do is what? You need to do stakeholder engagement. Who are the stakeholders? You need to do engagement, the stakeholder. Who are the stakeholder in the supply chain, in your supply chain? And I explained that before, that they are the people who benefit from whatever the supply chain that you are doing. Okay. Whatever production, whatever thing that we are doing, those who benefit. So the customers, the consumers, the partners in the supply chain, the upstream and downstream supply chain, they are all benefiting because when we buy from suppliers also get money on us. So they are benefiting. Then the same people that the organization also benefits from, those are the stakeholders. Those who benefit from the organization, and the organization also benefits from them, are what you call stakeholders. We need to engage them. Let them know that their portion, the data that they're supposed to keep, what they're supposed to contribute into the chain. in terms of AI and other things. What data do they have to contribute? Okay. Then continuous improvement, Kaizen. Now we are done. We are done with what we're supposed to know. And the best thing is for us to, now we are learning these global things. We are learning, hearing my voice as if we are in the same classroom. The only feel is that we are not seeing ourselves. So at least somebody is sleeping, you can wake the person up. You see, you are there alone in your room. Okay, that's the only difference. But we are in a classroom, and we are globally, we can globally connect. Somebody may be from Gambia and other countries. They are still maybe listening. I know some students are in Cote d'Ivoire, and the Gambian two Gambians, they finished, they are yet to graduate. And other foreigners are with us. But still, we can do teamwork. Raise a topic, raise an issue, a flag in an area that you did not understand. Then you call 2 or 3 or 4 people, or a large picture. Then you put the topic down after 6 o'clock. From now up to exams time, you take a topic, you all go and read. After reading, each one will set a question. So you come and you present, you come out with the questions that you predicted. You did predictive maintenance. What do you predict? And then come up with solutions. When such question comes, how we are going to tackle. You are going to write 3 questions out of 6 questions. And so at least the questions that you will discuss together from the topics, that will help you to write for your A's. I'm expecting about 15 A's from your class, 15 A's. And then maybe another 10 A minuses, making 25 A's. Okay, and the rest should be B's, B plus and B's. Okay. Any questions at this stage? You now have to do teamwork, and now there's question time. Question can be anything, can come from any course, from any topic.
Hey, Doc, the end. Wow.
This time is not, the end is not near, it's here. The end is here. So, any questions from here? Any questions? Any questions?
Doc.
Yes, sir.
Doc.
Yeah. Your name, please.
Please. This is Daniel Tikachu.
Daniel, my namesake. Okay.
Throughout the process of tutoring, you once when we get to some topics, you mentioned that this we should pay particular attention. There are going to be some likely questions from this side and this side. I don't know if you could do us a favor by recapping those places for us.
Very good, Daniel. So see, I'm a good, yes, I'm a good man, and I mentioned so. To give me 1 or 2 before I'll do the rest. If you're able to give 1 or 2 areas, I'll ask you to specialize. Yes, give me 1.
Please, if you can give me some minutes. Let me take mine. I got some.
Okay.
The one you said was the difference between work in progress and semi-finished goods.
Okay. Okay, let me answer the second person's. Let me respond to the second voice. Let him do it. The one that just spoke. Let me be frank with you. Masters, we hardly ask questions between 2 statements or 2 variables. We hardly do that. Give me the difference between this and that. No, unless maybe there are processes which I want you to digress to, to explain and then to, in a way, differentiate. But there's not going to be differentiation of words or of terminologies or of systems or of processes. Do you get me? Yes. Any other point?
Doc, please, I remember you mentioned challenges or obstacles in integration. That's under supply chain management integration. Said we should look at that area.
Very good. Okay, so other areas include supply chain disruptions. Okay, and how organizations balance cost mitigation with risk disruptions. Supply chain disruptions. You see, now that I'm giving it, some people are disturbing. What is this?
Richard, please kindly mute yourself.
Why am I here? Hello, am I here? It's not as if I'm gone. Am I with you?
Yes,
Yes,
Doc.
Doc, we are with us.
My screen. The person nearly took me away. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so you're going to see that. I can't see my screen, but let me see if I can remember something. Then we are also going to now we're also going to look at relationships, partnership relationship, and key potential challenges with partnership relationship. But in a case study context, I'm not going to ask you what is partnership relationship. I'll give you a small, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, and then I'll give you a question based on the so and so relationship. What are maybe the company's concern about partnering with? Unfortunately, I don't have. If I roll my slide, am I rolling my slide on the screen?
Yes, Doc.
I don't know why my slide is hiding. So in partnership relationship, in relationship that you are going to write on, you look at the various concerns, the challenges that are involved, okay, looking at the case study that was given, okay, and then you're also going to talk about those relationships. That's very good. Any question? There's no question here. I'm not going to answer any question here again. And integration. So at least you talked about vertical integration. You have mentioned integration more than 5 times in our discussions. Okay, so integration, and then the challenges or the bottlenecks that you have in integration. and strategies to reduce those bottlenecks in a small short case study. I hope you are jotting.
Yes, dog.
Yes, Doc.
Hello, dog. Hello, dog.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you also need to listen of freedom. Now we should look at it.
12:40. Yes, I'm going to do that via Zoom. I'm going to meet you next week, tomorrow, and see your faces. So today I'm meeting you via Zoom at 12:40. If no, late by 1. Let's make it late by 1. Okay. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So someone was on the floor. Okay. So
Yes, I was saying that like you also answer freedom.
your line is not clear at all.
Freedom.
Class, do you hear
He
him?
meant trade-off. Yes, he said trade-off.
Trade-offs. Okay. Okay. You apply those things in your exams, in your write-ups. Okay. Yeah. So um, so supply development is an issue. Supply development. Supply development is coming. So if I say supply development, if I were you, read everything about supply development, especially the slide, and then explore other areas through other textbooks, and then go use AIs to find meanings of the things that you don't understand there concerning supply development, challenges and other things, processes. I mean everything supply development. It's one of the what is it? Matrices, the outsourcing matrices, supply development. In outsourcing, I said it this morning. Outsourcing and okay, so outsourcing is also coming. Supply chain outsourcing. Hey, and the new supply chain that we learned today. I even forgot that it is examinable area. The new supply chain. Okay, and they are all in application of a story, of a management processes, of a challenge, of a case study, of the sort, and that's what you're going to do. And then some question will demand you using citing examples of using examples to explore circular economy too. If I had not checked, I wouldn't have given you these areas because I didn't know these areas are coming. Circular economy. So that's all. You're going to write about this. Read wide. If I were you, I will read wide for, you have about 2 weeks or so to write. Read wide generally and then stick to the areas. The reason why you need to read wide is that anything can happen. Sometimes, last year, this question, they were not able to answer these questions well. So let me bring it. I can exchange that question with the question here. You understand? If the question was not properly answered, it means I did not teach it well, or maybe I don't know. The question was not clear. So I can repeat it. It has happened to me before. So I first advise you read thoroughly, understand, apply in your organizations. Anytime you read, be practical, and then respond practically. I don't like words. I'm not a man of too many words. I have only few words in my mind. So, I just don't go and then pour out so many things that you have chewed. Okay, just write as a mature person, brief, concise, but make sense. Support your argument with examples, class examples, and then let me also learn from you, even when I'm marking your exams. Sometimes it has happened to me before, not even once. You mark, and then if the question is 20, each question is 20 marks, so you are going to answer 3 for 60 marks. Then you realize that after marking, the person can get even 22, 23. So wow, then you have to go back to you are so overwhelmed with the point that the person has given you, so that you have gone beyond your marking scheme. So the person gets 23. It means you have to come back and reduce to 23, to 20 or 19 or 18. It's not common to get a lecturer's mark 20 over 20. 20 is not common at masters, at least. And that's why for A plus, A and A minus, start from 75 and above. 75 and above. So at least if you get 75 and above, you have your A. Okay, 70, I think 80 or 80 to 75, 80 and above, you get A. So please go read, do teamwork, and make sure you don't think you know, and don't be selfish. Liaise with other people and do your possible best. I think let's make it a day. Eh? Please call me and let's talk.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay,
Call me.
Doc.
My doors are open. My phone is 24/7 on. So you can call at dawn, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. My phone is still on. If I'm not able to open to pick your call.
No, 12 midnight there, no.
You said?
I said 12 midnight there. I don't think it's the best.
I don't think it's what?
I don't think 12 midnight is the best.
Is that it? Why?
Yes. Is it that time you are resting? You are sleeping, call coming to disturb you.
Obed, what's your problem? The person said we can call him anytime, and he said you don't think 12 midnight is.
I'm just sharing my view.
Are you the handler of his
phone?
Don't
worry, Obed.
Are you the one handling his phone?
Oh, my brother, are you fighting with me?
I'm not fighting with you. The person said he is available for our calls.
No, I even thought he was going to give me health implications because he used time. So throughout the dawn time, you need to rest, you need to sleep. But I've given you the opportunity. If I don't pick it, it means I'm gone. I've slept. But if I pick it, because sometimes I get up to read, get up to mark and other things. I teach about 2 or 3 universities, supply chain, logistics, and other related courses. That is where I did my PhD in supply chain. Okay, so I've been teaching that. So I have to prepare notes, handouts, slides, questions, marking, and other things. So, Obed, anytime you wake up and you wake up at 5, if you want 5, you can tell me. At least you are interested, you want to see my health well. So, I agree with you, but don't worry.
Doc.
Anytime you want to call.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
This is Charles Akyea. The assignment you gave us is very involving, Patch. Doc, could there be a way it could be used for exams? Because it's very impactful. If you are doing it, it makes you learn more, and it really widens up the scope of understanding of the program.
Hey.
Yeah, for no exams.
Okay, so people will not. We thank God it's not physical class. It's not face to face. Like today, you see a bomb from Iran. The way I'm seeing what people are gathering. So, yeah, no assignment should be detailed. The assignment you have a lot of time to do reading and research. But for exams, if you make it so complex, for instance, using a company of your choice, you need to, if you see a question like this, it means you need to do practical work. And the best thing to visit the place, ask questions, develop questionnaires.
No, what I mean is that the assignment should be converted, like should be used for the exam. Meaning we will not write exams. We use the assignment as the exam.
You mean it should be used for exams?
Yes. And so we'll do it and submit it to you as our end of semester.
You see, that's why I want 7 pages. In exams, you cannot write 7 pages. Okay, in exams, watch 2-3 pages. Okay, but I want you to do detailed work for the assignment so that at least that will get you your 20 marks. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll miss you all until we meet again. I will meet at graduation, especially the seniors. The other ones, I'll meet you again with another course. Okay, procurement ethics, and that one is for supply chain, only supply chain people, not logistics. Okay, so until we meet again, have a wonderful time.
No, I'll get in touch. I'll get in touch.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Doc. We'll get in touch.
Very good. I'll be expecting you guys.
Okay, Doc.
Okay.
Have a nice weekend.
Same to you. Don't do what I wouldn't do.
Not at all. Not at all. Aren't you a darling?
I'm a darling.
A darling.